talk to you about a very important topic. I want you to first take a moment to imagine a classroom. Not one with rows and desks and a teacher standing at the front, but one buzzing with energy. One where students are asking questions, lots of questions. Why does the sky change colors at sunset? What would happen if we could breathe underwater? How do different cultures solve our problem? When you nurture curiosity, it's not about just developing knowledge, but it makes connections, a way to bridge learning and make it awe-inspiring. When you have a student encouraged to ask questions and not be afraid to learn, not only do they develop their knowledge, but they also make a connection with social and emotional intelligence, which helps us build a better world. It's actually a bridge. Curiosity is the bridge between social learning, emotional learning, to develop real knowledge. Curiosity is an innate trait. Think about it. Little kids always ask, why? Why, how? How does this work? And in a traditional classroom, it'd be like, just wait until it's time for questions. But that's not what we should do. We should encourage questions. We should have students ask questions like, how does this impact others? Why does that person feel angry when they're having trouble solving a math question? When you have students helping one another to try to understand one another, it becomes a better place. The society becomes better. When you are thinking and curiosity and you develop this, not only are you developing your knowledge and understanding of something great, but you're making a connection. So imagine, for example, one project, a real life scenario that you give your students. We have an issue with, let's say, community wasting of food. What should we do? So they're learning about sustainability, right? But imagine if you're asking these same students to ask, why does food waste happen? Is there another community that does this as well? And how do they address the issue? Which community is the most impacted by this? So they start to have a sense of, it's not just me in this world. So curiosity leads everyone, or little kids, if you remember how they would take apart their toys to discover and see how it works, or how scientists spend decades trying to unravel the mysteries of the universe. And then, with the traditional education, we stifle that curiosity. So let's re-envision what a classroom should look like. Let's envision a classroom where the majority of the time is about questions. It's not about what's the answer, what's the right answer, but instead it's what's the right question. This will lead us to a better world. So Professor John Hattie, in his 2009 Visible Learning's meta-analysis, found that inquiry-based learning, that means questions, seeking to discover, exploration, has a positive student impact to student achievement. So it's not about just diagnostic tests, acing the exam, but imagine if we look much deeper and where we are encouraging students all around the world in every single classroom to ask questions, because we can help the world be a better place, one question at a time. Thank you.